Wow, what a show we have for you today. Usually here at Swindonsteam Esports, we like to have a laugh and a joke and we talk to each other. As we're going to explain today, not everything is all fun and games. With that said, I am Nathan Dadbod, and I'm with me once again. The co-hosting is Robert SmilesAcritic. As everyone's aware at the moment, Mixer is now officially dead. It was released on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter last night, and that was confirmed by Facebook Gaming, who is actually going to merge with Mixer itself. Now, it's been a crazy couple of days for Mixer itself. Mixer has actually been a bit of a bother on Twitter, and this came from Robert Breslow. He wrote on Twitter, according to a former employee of Microsoft's Mixer, who was one of the only black employees at the time, in his own words, a senior manager used a slave analogy. For me, I am the slave master. I own partners and was reprimanded
Reprimanded.
Yeah, sorry. For me, I am the slave master. I own partners and was not reprimanded by Microsoft.
Oh, that says everything.
Yeah, there's a lot of problems.
Just when you think it can get any worse.
Oh, absolutely. So, and then there was a further retweet by a Millie or a Milan K. Lee, who was one of the few black employees at Mixer, who's this gentleman's on about. Now, he put a tweet up earlier, saying Mixer, the black experience. Now, this is his own words. So I'm going to repeat those words from Twitter, and hopefully I do it justice by what I read. Mixer, the black experience. So I've gone back and forth with how I wanted to share this information. I've debated doing a video and just letting my emotions come across raw and unfiltered, but I believe this is the best way to share and write how I feel. I worked at Microsoft for 2 years, starting in 2017. In 2018, I relocated to Seattle to work with the Mixer team. I was beyond happy and anxious to have the ability to finally work within the gaming industry. The flip side to all of this is crazy. The experience was the worst I've ever had professionally, and it is all due to racism.
You see, with that sort of thing, I think, with Swindonsteam, I think, I'm just coming back to our thing at the moment. I just want to emphasise it is open to everyone.
Oh, absolutely.
It is open to everyone. But don't turn it into like a sort of political sort of standpoint. That's what I'm saying.
And usually we wouldn't bring it up. This is Swindonsteam Esports will be multicultural, and it will be different, vast amount of genders.
However, people will have opinions,
and
you're not going to get hounded out for having an opinion.
No, absolutely not. But I'll just return back to the tweet. Sorry. Number 1, I was one of the only black people working at Mixer during my tenure. While at a conference, I was pulled aside and told that the only reason I was hired is because I am street smart. The first thing that popped into my head at that time was affirmative action. I believed I was only hired to meet a diversity goal because I was black. Anyways, I decided to brush it off and let it go. Number 2, time goes by and we are in an internal meeting discussing projects and we wanted to execute. My manager decided to give us an analogy. That analogy was, I am between a rock and a hard place. What I mean is that all of my partners are my slaves. I own their content. I control their success on our platform. For me, I am the slave master. I own partners. Immediately, I got angry, pissed off, and honestly, I didn't want to work at Microsoft Mixer anymore. My manager saw my mood was not the same and decided to have a one-on-one meeting. Within that meeting, when I told her why I was angry and why her using that analogy was not okay, she decided to defend her statement and even had the nerve to Google that analogy to prove why it was okay. After Google showed her that it was never okay to use that analogy, she told me I needed to work on myself. If I wanted to go far in this industry, I needed to work on my emotions and feelings to similar comments. After this meeting, I knew I was leaving. Number 3, I reported my entire experience to skip level manager. I also included examples when my ideas in meetings were passed on, when said ideas were the exact same ideas of my white colleagues. The skip level never reported any of the slavery comments to HR. So when I spoke to HR, they were surprised and said that this had never been communicated. After that meeting, I resigned a few weeks later. Number 4. I spoke with the legal team to start an investigation with my manager. The investigation would continue even though I decided to terminate my employment. Months go by without a verdict. One day later, last year, I get a call from the legal team to find with their final findings. The finding was not guilty. The reason my manager was not penalised and the reason she still has a job to this day is because she cannot be racist. The reason she cannot be racist is because she hired a black person. This is why you have not seen me in any streams. Those 4 points are the reasons I do not and will not support Mixer. Now, I have a lot of close friends at Mixers, and I don't want to think you are all that are bad. But one of the main people calling the shots that has zero respect for any partners, not their platform. She believes you are all her slaves, and she owns your future and your content. I stood up to her because I refused to let anyone else be classified as such, and I hope no partners feel bad I did so. I do not care about how big a company or their market share is. If we do not have the same values, I cannot be intelligent. If you cannot be intelligent enough to know when racism isn't tolerated, then I will not work for you or your company. All in all, this has been my experience. This tweet was only actually released yesterday morning in UK timings.
When your phone blown up?
No, this was a few hours later that my phone blew up. So the Mixer community was distraught hearing about this, about their staff. It's not the way you want it to go.
No.
They lost streamers, they lost sponsorships, they lost viewers, they lost a lot of stuff. And the only way Mixer could respond is to defend themselves, respond to this.
Yeah.
But they haven't. 7 hours later, not even 7 hours later, they send a tweet saying that they're no longer going to be operating as of the 22nd of July, and they've been bought out and merging with Facebook Gaming.
Who probably took the opportunity to grab some resources while they were down.
It's not even that. Mixer should have responded back to defend themselves but the fact that they didn't respond and they just said, "Good news, we are merging," because they did use this is big news. This is big news.
Corporate for holy fuck.
Yeah, exactly. So they are guilty, unfortunately, as a result of it.
I mean, I'm sure now I wouldn't want to refer to anyone as such, as quote unquote a slave, being anyone, being a streamer, a creator, being even a person.
Yeah. Even outside of the gaming industry.
Yeah. I mean, bloody hell. That's certainly I know. You sort of don't know what to say, do you?
Exactly, and this is why I didn't tell you beforehand. I gave you a hint.
You gave me a little bit of a hint.
Yeah,
throughout the day,
I wanted to just throw that at you to get your response, and that's your response.
Well, I mean, I'm sort of just gobsmacked. I mean, oh, sure, yes, I have heard of these quotas. It is a thing. They're quotas. However, see, my mind's blown.
I feel like I should have gave you a proper heads up so you could have more.
I don't know what to say.
No, and to use that analogy of slavery, it's a lack of respect as well.
It's not a middle finger to half your staff.
Well, exactly.
It's also some of those staff go to work to get away from the problems that we face now.
Yes.
And to hear that, it's sort of like, it's literally thinking, for fuck's sake. You know what I mean? They've gone back to, using those sort of analogies. But back to what she said. Now, I understand wanting to, fight this type of thing, and quite rightly so. I mean, no one wants a company like that. I think that's what one of the major problems is nowadays, companies like that. But everyone does have an opinion. You will find these people who will think that, or may not think that. But that's where you'd have to learn to get along. And that's what I'm taking away from when she says, be intelligent about it. Agree to disagree. Me and you probably massively disagree on a lot of things. but we work together for a big goal.
See, yeah, absolutely. I mean,
we can laugh and joke.
To have such trivial ideologies as, for me personally, I don't like the Marvel movies. Ooh. But
Sorry.
A lot of people are going to hate me for that, and you're going to see a lot of dislike buttons. However,
when you said you didn't like Batman, oh my god.
I didn't say I didn't like him. I just...
So what the thumbnail says. Sorry, right, no, serious.
Yeah,
serious.
No, go back to this.
Shocking.
It is. You genuinely took the word out of my mouth. It is shocking. And they really should have done better to defend themselves. I mean, they have a whole HR team. They had several hours. They had a good part of a whole working day to come up with the best response they could, even if they were guilty. But instead, they decided to go quiet, and then they finally have a stream saying, "Big news, we are officially shutting down as of the 22nd of July."
Which is a big middle finger to those who rely on it.
Absolutely. In fact, I have it right here for you. Mixer. This is from Mixer's Twitter account. Mixer partners, streamers, community. Today, we've got some very big news for you. While we've decided to close down the operation side of Mixer, we are officially partnering with Facebook Gaming, and we're cordially inviting you to join. So,
yeah, all right. Those are good news. Yeah, not good news for everyone else.
But Mixer are shooting themselves in the foot. They genuinely are. And again, to go to this news of shutting down and merging with Facebook Gaming. Now, Mixer's been struggling for quite some time. The problem with Mixer, it had the potential to be the greatest or one of the best streaming platforms out there.
As we said.
Yeah, but again, Mixer, they messed up. When they did great things originally, they bought out Ninja and they bought out Shroud. They contracted Ninja to Mixer for an estimate between $20 to $30 million. That's incredible. And then also a further 10 to Shroud. Because of this, Mixer had to lay off 25% of their staff to accommodate for this.
Right.
So, but they assumed that this would be a short-term problem, but a long-term solution win. Mixer believed that when they bought all of these big-time streamers, including FaZe Ewok as well, that the viewers and would also go with them. But nobody, including myself, understood. I'm trying to think of the word. Nobody. I don't think anybody could have anticipated the loyalty of the fan base to not just the streamers but to Twitch itself.
I know Twitch isn't your best friend.
No, exactly, and I still stand by my words that it won't stand in the next few years. But nobody can deny the loyalty of the fan base.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's been less than a year. I think someone did the maths of it today. It's been less than a year since that move from Twitch to Mixer for Ninja for 30 million, and he did 326 days altogether working with Mixer. So if you do the maths, he's ended up making about $92,000 a day. I'm
curious about what he thinks at the moment.
Well, he did a tweet earlier and then almost immediately deleted it. So at the moment, it's all rumours. This is what I was going to get to later, but it's all rumours that he is joining back up with Twitch. Now, there's no confirmation, but again, at the moment, it's only rumours. But this is helped and fueled by the fact that Ninja's old Twitch account has now suddenly reappeared. Now, this isn't to say that he will end up going back to Twitch. This could be a stunt, because when whilst Facebook Gaming isn't buying anyone out, they did offer a contract to Ninja, double what he made, up to potentially $60 million. Now, for whatever reason, whether it was he didn't want to work with Facebook Gaming, he declined it. Maybe because he knew he would lose even more streamers, or maybe he wanted to still stay relevant in the streaming platforms, as he probably wouldn't be on Facebook Gaming. So now he's probably weighing up his options. You've got to think about PewDiePie. He's one of the biggest in the world. He makes $4 million a month through YouTube Gaming.
Yeah, the biggest YouTuber, isn't he?
I know Ninja has a lot of friends who's over at YouTube as well. I mean, look, Courage and Valkyrie, they've moved over exclusively from Twitch to YouTube gaming. So maybe he is reevaluating his options. I know recently Nick Merckx from the FaZe clan has renegotiated his term and conditions for his renewal of a contract with Twitch. So he's making huge money now. So maybe it's a publicity stunt by Ninja. If he's being offered 60 million, what else or who else can give me more? But I know in the next year, probably not even a year, I would say by winter 2020 or early 2021, there'll be 2 huge Chinese streamer industries coming over to the West.
Really?
Oh yeah, it's almost guaranteed. It's just a matter of when. I estimate, again, 2020 to early 2021, they will be here in the West.
That's all well and good. It's good. Well, is it good? Okay, that's a question I'm going to pose to everyone else, though, for whoever wants to message Nathan or whoever wants to leave a comment. Is that good for the industry, though? 2 big Chinese companies. They have a history of a lot of stuff.
Oh, yes,
but
absolutely.
of course the West do. Of course, everyone does. But, you've seen Blizzard.
Yeah.
So there's a question for you guys.
Now, I was thinking, as a League of Legends fan, I was wondering if this was actually going to improve the situation or not.
Yeah.
Now, I can't give my honest answer right now because I honestly don't know.
Yeah.
I would love to have the facts about it. But time will have to tell. I'm wavering on the edge of I don't think it will benefit. So there's my opinion right now. My very early assessment is I don't think these 2 new streamer industries coming from overseas will benefit streaming to the West side.
But as I said, it's just a question for you guys at home listening. Do you think it would benefit or not? This will be a regular thing. Like if big news suddenly appeared, you will hear from us, particularly from either Nathan or myself. We both have things we're passionate about. We both have things we're serious about, and we want to make it clear. However, this was some very big news.
Yeah.
Like huge news. Like you messaged me last night while I was getting everything ready for today, my day's work. And I was sitting there thinking, what do you mean? But wow, like honestly, you got any more to add on?
I just got just more reports coming out from Microsoft, Facebook, and everything like that. It's at the moment there's a lot of panicking. A lot of people are going to lose their livelihoods, or they believe they're going to lose their livelihoods with Mixer. But the good thing about that is that there are other opportunities. If you do decide to stay with Mixer until the end, you can actually email Facebook and come get in touch with them, and they will help you send you in the right directions of getting up your Facebook gaming setup. As for what I'm about to read, it's further on Ninja's and Shroud's contracts. Here we go. It's up to them and their priorities, the head of Facebook Gaming comments, meaning that the platform isn't actively pursuing exclusive agreements with any of Mixer's biggest names. While streamers like Ninja and Shroud will now go is totally up in the air. Ninja believes Ninja only left Twitch last August, reportedly for a contract worth between 20 to 30 million. The particular acquisition kicked off a war of live streaming talent, which resulted in YouTube, Facebook Gaming, and Twitch signing many other big names in the streaming space, and fewer paydays for the beneficiaries. Before last August, explicit exclusive contracts and professional sport-esque paydays were rare, even though the biggest live streamers were now commanding huge audiences.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's just another quote coming from the actual sources. You can't make this up at the moment. So right there, other than, it doesn't say it right there, but I mentioned it earlier, that Facebook Gaming did offer Ninja and Shroud double contracts to what they were making with Mixer. Again, for whatever reasons, they decided to decline it and go elsewhere. Do you know, I reckon they would probably be best off going to a a network, if I'm completely honest. Somewhere like, I'm going to say it now, ESPN or something like that, broadcast it on Sky Sports, or not just bring it to the mainstream, not just on Twitch, on YouTube, bring it to the mainstream so more people can see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, this is an opportunity for smaller streamers and smaller broadcasting networks and stuff like that to sort of get their foot in the door.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
The Fall of a Giant will see like the seeding of multiple others.
See, I'm not a fan of Twitch, and I agree with what you're saying. I'm not a fan of Twitch. However, I do feel sorry for the smaller Twitch streamers.
Yeah.
Because you've got all of these small mixer streamers who don't know where to go. So the only place they're going to probably go to is the next biggest one, which is Twitch. Now, all of these small streamers are now going to be competing for views, so they're going to lose viewers and lose more money as well.
Yeah.
Now, if you do it right, this is one of the best and most perfect times, whilst everything is in a pandemonium.
Yeah, it's shocking, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's sudden. I mean, I can't imagine being a streamer right now, honestly.
Oh, no, yeah. And no one's saying much in regards to streaming because nobody wants to put the foot in the wrong door.
No. But yeah, I'll be honest with you, I didn't know much about this until now. That's why I'm still a bit shocked about how...
It's probably been your most quiet in the last 2 sessions.
I mean, talk about, bad publicity in one go. Everyone goes for it, and I'm sure we will.
This was all in less than 24 hours.
Well, yeah. So, yeah. So you've said your point of view. We've both said our points of view. We have given guidance to the little... others, like us, because I don't stream. You stream, don't you? Sometimes,
very rarely, but I do it through. I choose to just do it through YouTube.
Yeah, so I don't do anything like that. So I just feel sorry for those who have been affected.
Now, this doesn't affect Swindonsteam Esports as of yet.
No.
However, we are more than happy to take questions, and we will answer you as best as possible.
Yeah.
Whether you want to do that in the comment section below, or actually DM us in our messages.
Yeah, I'll happily respond to any questions at all. I'll respond to any needed, clarification, or anyone who needs just to ask any general question.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sorry, I'm tripping over my words. Long day.
Oh yeah, I've muddled up a few times as well, I have to admit.
I mean, but still, it's been an interesting, quick one. This one, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, this certainly changes the equilibrium of streaming services, especially from what we said in our last, especially from what I said in the last episode.
Yeah, because if I quote, you said if it's done right, they could do well.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I said that right now Twitch is the biggest one, but in a few years it wouldn't be. And it was only in the last section I say, and if Microsoft can sort itself out, Mixer can be one of the big ones. But they've struggled to get the viewerships, unfortunately, struggled to get more big names.
Yeah. And I will stress one last thing. Now, as I've said, everyone has an opinion. I don't judge someone based on their looks, like I'm sure Nathan doesn't. But what I do judge is, their ethic, like if they're going to work for us or not, and their character.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I judge the most. Nathan, being the owner, you would think about qualifications, wouldn't you?
Yes.
But me, I'm focused on character. If the person's a good person, like, say, for example, that lady who was sadly treated like crap at Mixer, I would like to dig deeper and see, what happened?
Absolutely. You almost took the words out of my mouth. I was like, yeah, you really have. I mean, myself and Robert are both in the army, and there are plenty of people of colour who work above us, work beside us, work below us.
Some of them I do respect a lot because they've been like teachers to me.
Oh, mentors, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So I just want to put it out there now for any listeners listening. We want Swindonsteam to be a place where someone can enjoy to work. As I've said in the other podcast, in the introduction, we want you to feel welcome and enjoy it. We don't want, have this fake corporatism where it's like you're treated like an object, as that lady was treated. So we do welcome you if you choose to join us on this journey. We've said our opinions, and I'll leave Nathan to do the closing statement.
Yeah, as Rob said, this is a gaming community. We all play games to escape from the realisms.
Yeah.
But some of us want to make this full time. Why can't? There's no reason why we can't. I'm lost for words. Genuinely, I've known about this for nearly a day now, and I still get lost for words.
I'm still shocked.
This happens in 2020. Now, I know you've got all the movements and the protests going on all over the world, but in the gaming industry, it still shows you that some people are still, unfortunately, narrow-minded. Now, we don't want to bring any of that to Swindonsteam esports, except we're multicultural. We don't care about those things. We just care about you and your interests, and you want to play games. So we can bring out the best in you, so you can bring out the best in yourselves.
Yeah.
With that said, I hope this has been a nice short episode. This isn't going to be produced on a Fridays like we expect it. We will usually be doing our podcast and releasing other videos for the time being on Fridays, but we just wanted to keep you in the loop now. But again, if you have any queries, concerns, or anything like that, or anything you want to share, please get in touch with us, and we'll be happy to get back in touch and give you as much answers as possible. But until then, just from myself and from SmilesAcritic, we hope you take care and enjoy yourselves.
See you later. Thank you for listening.
Yeah.
Goodbye. That's all right, wasn't it?
Yeah. You probably have to edit some of my mumble jumble out.
I'm trying to look for that fucking stop button. There we go.